I think you're not ready. Thank you very much. Citizens who would like to engage in public demonstrations. The government respects that some political actors have planned to use the protests for their political campaigns and are hell-bent on mobilizing goons, gangs, and criminals with all manner of crude weapons to cause mayhem by attacking businesses and innocent civilians. Our position as a government is as follows. The government will deal decisively and in accordance with the law with any individuals or groups seeking to exploit legitimate protests to cause chaos, engage in looting, destroy property, disrupt businesses, or commit any other criminal acts. The Director of Criminal Investigation is already investigating reported cases of individuals who are currently and actively mobilizing and sponsoring some Kenyans to take part in violent activities and will be on high alert tomorrow. Those responsible will face the full force of the law. The police will do everything under the law to protect peaceful protesters and members of the public going about their businesses, including children and students going to school. Thursday, as I've said, will be a normal business and school day. Our children are free to go to school and people to go about their businesses. The Constitution guarantees the right to education and lawful means of earning a living. We expect that members of the public, including protesters, will not wait for the police to make their security and safety choices. Even if you are a peaceful protester and find yourself in the middle of goons and criminals, it is advisable that you make the right decision by disassociating yourself from this company. This will make it easier for the police to enforce the law. We have also noted with concern unfortunate utterances by some leaders, including from the religious society, inciting members of the public by insinuating that the government is in any way supports goons and criminals. For the avoidance of doubt, the government of Kenya does not condone or work with goons or criminals. The police are under instructions through the policy guidance of the Cabinet Secretary to decisively deal with all goons without fear or favor. In fact, it is clear that those who are insinuating that the government is working with goons, including those who, applying reverse psychology, tried to blame the government and the police on matters of violence and to try to tell the public that tomorrow the government is going to plan goons. It is now clear through the intelligence report being pursued by the DCI that the same people who are actually pretending to tell people to stay away from the streets and from demonstrations are actively, as we speak, through their agents and themselves, mobilizing goons to come tomorrow to the streets so that they can get an opportunity to justify their statements and to try to blame the government. Make no mistake, any person who is going to be procured by those people or any other person to come tomorrow to the streets armed for a violent protest will meet the full force of the law. We urge the public to cooperate with the law enforcement officers, and together let us always uphold peace, order, and the constitutional values that bind our nation. I say that we know the people who are, as I said, we know now the people who are currently and actively mobilizing persons for purpose of violent protest tomorrow. And the Director of Criminal Investigation, if you want me to go back to my statement, is already following them, and they will be arrested. They will be arrested. Contrary to your assertion that in the last protest nobody was arrested, 3,000 people were arrested last year. 3,000 were arrested and produced in court. A good number of them were released on a very flimsy grounds. And a good number of them still have their cases active in court as we speak. You know that a number were charged for acts of terrorism because they banned businesses and so forth, including a member of parliament. And of course, you know what went on in the courts. And those cases, including the same, are still active in court. I want to hear tomorrow for the first time journalists who will outrightly say, look at our cameras, look at that guy burning somebody's business, look at the other one burning tires, look at the other one blocking the roads. Those are criminals. Don't profile them as protesters. Then we will work together and you will help the police to succeed in their work in terms of apprehending criminals. We expect a peaceful protest tomorrow because we have been promised peaceful protest. But because we are aware and we have information about some of these political actors are busy mobilizing criminals to come to the street. That's why I told you the DCI is pursuing them, and a number of them will be arrested tonight and more tomorrow. And please don't glorify them as heroes and heroines. On the question of, so that answers the two questions. On the issue of legality of tomorrow's, remember that the question you had posed to the regional commander was whether the Inspector General of Police has been notified. The procedure in the Public Order Act is to notify the OCS in the police station. Finally, that has been confirmed, that notification has come from some families and citizens that they would like to carry out peaceful protests tomorrow. So there is no question. However, even in that case, violent protests are still illegal and it will not happen. We will make sure the police will do everything to ensure that anybody who is armed and who is not keeping peace will not be allowed to roam about the city of Nairobi and any part of the Republic of Kenya. The persons who gave notification requested certain designated routes, and the police are already alert to help them peacefully go through the designated routes. Unfortunately, they never put in the time they will start and the time they will end. But we have their telephone numbers. We'll continue in conversation with them so that they can tell us the specific routes we are going to pass through. But as I told you, the challenge has never been peaceful protest. And as has been said, there are many, many protests that take place in this country every day in different parts by workers, by doctors, by nurses, by different people. And usually it ends up being very peaceful protests, and police are escorting them and they do it successfully. Sadly, when we have the information as we have now, it becomes very sad. And let me tell you, maybe I should just give you a sneak preview of the kind of information we have. We have information that in a number of counties, particularly, I don't want to profile the specific counties, but counties near Nairobi and thereabout, that criminals are being mobilized to attack businesses of leaders and business people who are associated with the government. And so we are aware of some businesses, supermarkets, and other processing plants for business people who are not supporting the person who has organized the violence. And so the DCI is on the case of all those ones who are being mobilized and taken to go and loot supermarket and other businesses. What is the motive? We understand that the possible motive, this is still early, but the possible motive is that there are a number of businesses and businessmen who have refused to support certain politicians financially and their political ideology. In the process, they want to use the protest and the excuse of tomorrow's protest to target their businesses as a way of sending a message and blackmailing other business people that they must support his tribal agenda. by force. So the DCI is on that case, and it will be dealt with. Asanteni sana, and I look forward to successful tomorrow. You also reporting Kenyans who will go about their business, and our children going to school, and their right to education being respected, so that everybody can succeed in everything they do. Asanteni sana, and may God bless you.